right, guys, we are back. Kasugi survives. Happy to be back with you guys. Dream Championship Wrestling, episode number 19. And before we get started, we have got to touch on the Yuki Himuro situation from episode number 18. Yuki was taken into custody. Brock Lesnar decided not to press charges. Yuki has been fined. That disgusting testicular claw is something that we really don't want to promote in Dream Championship Wrestling. And you could really, I don't want to say end a man's career, but you could do some other things detrimental to a man by doing that. And we don't want to see that. So hopefully Yuki heeds those warnings and he's basically getting through unscathed besides some damage to his pocketbook. All right, but with that out of the way, I have put up some posters, and we did promote this event. Actually, it was my first attempt at a Dream Championship Wrestling poster. So you should know by now the main event on this card is going to be Claudio Castagnoli getting a shot at Braun Strowman's world title. We are also going to include Ricky Starks versus Matt Jackson. This is going to be for the Junior Championship, the inaugural Junior Championship. We have not had one, obviously, to date, so this is going to kick that off. And really, I think these are the only two juniors on our roster, so there you go with that. We're also going to have a world title contenders bout. Brian Cage is going to take on Kichiro Asakawa. The winner will get the next title shot. And then included in the card is also going to be Cody Rhodes. You'll see Rob Van Dam. You'll see CM Punk. And yes, we're going to have a special guest. Kenny Omega is going to be in a bout, basically a tryout of sorts with Dream Championship Wrestling. So we'll see what he does and see if this is somebody we would be interested in signing. And we will quickly jump over to the training center. As always, we will quickly repair everything. All right, and with that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at our merchandise. And we've got some discrepancies here. We always seem to do well with merchandise. I always like to keep track in the upper right-hand corner our expenses. We are nearing $350,000. Haven't even put on a card yet. However, let's go ahead and we're going to start increasing our quantity on a more consistent basis. $68 action figure will go with 1,000. Goods, we're going to do 3. And branded snacks, we will also do 3. You got to spend money to make money, so there you have it. We'll let everything else ride. And even the masks, quantity of 325, we should be okay, just because they're at such a high price point. All right, let's take a quick look here at our talent scouts. This is something we don't normally do. Shin Bato has one more month. He is out in Japan. We have Carlos out in Latin America. Marty Sakata is just scouting the entire world. He's got 4 months remaining on his trip. And then Mr. Question, looking for strong style in Latin America. He is out for 5 more months. So let's go ahead and let's kind of bridge the gap here. We'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's send out, let's go no preference. Let's go America, 3 months, and we'll just see if Takahiro can come back with anybody. And of course, we've got to check the personal advice section, just see what is going on in the rumor mill. And this one is priceless. Yuki Himuro isn't happy with his pay. Yeah, I'm sure he isn't because he just got fined. But let's go ahead and see what Yuki has in mind. Yuki ought to be ashamed of himself. He is making 2,000. I mean, in terms of skill, he's not the most skilled guy that we have on the roster. He is currently in poor condition, but he is quite popular worldwide. Obviously he just had some bad publicity, but I don't know, does that saying, any publicity is good publicity? Does that work? If it does, Yuki has really upped his stock. And he is half of the tag team champion, so let's go ahead and change Yuki's salary. It's just a peculiar time for him to be asking for more. And we're certainly not going to give him the big bump. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to go low with Yuki. The testicular claw has still got me a little upset, so that's all Yuki is going to get. All right, so with these few little things out of the way, I think it's time to go ahead and finalize the card. All right, guys, we are set, and this is what we've got for episode number 19. As we mentioned, Kenny Omega in a tryout match. We decided to bring in Jiro Kazama from Japan, as he's a free agent, and so it'll be interesting to see, which one of these guys would like us to consider them for a contract. After that, we've got Yuki Himuro making his comeback, released from jail, taking on Rob Van Dam. We follow that up with Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt. Next up on the card, in a showman-style match, CM Punk takes on Charles Young. We then move on to some really big matches here. Katsuro Asakawa, Brian Cage in a contenders match. The winner of this will get the next shot at the World Heavyweight title. We follow that up with a co-main event. Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line. Our first champion, will it be Matt Jackson or Ricky Starks? And then the main event, Dream Heavyweight title on the line. Champion Braun Strowman going to defend against Claudio Castagnoli, who has just taken the Dream Championship Wrestling world absolutely by storm. So this one, everybody's waiting for this. I'm waiting for it. This is an exciting card. Who knows what might happen. We've got a full house scheduled for you. America Urban Venue location in a medium hall, $60 ticket price. We're running a TV commercial, and you're damn right, Tommy Young is the referee as always. So with that out of the way, oh, and I do want to mention, Braun Strowman, Claudio Castagnoli, we're going to go with a 20-minute time limit in that match. I thought it might be a good idea to start doing time limits on the championship matches, just because, if you want to take the championship, you need to take the championship. We're not going to give you all night, so Claudio needs to get the job done in 20 minutes or less. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. All right, guys, what a night of fights that was. And even with Kenny Omega doing what he did, we still came close to selling out. Our average card rating was a 95%, and I'll have to check, but I think this might be the best top to bottom card that we've ever put on in Dream Championship Wrestling. We started the night with Yuki and Rob Van Dam, and I'll be honest with you, Yuki, we were intentionally throwing him to the wolves here. I have to say that SOB slapped on the testicular claw again, so I don't know what we're going to do with him. He is clearly the bad boy of Dream Championship Wrestling at this point, but our plan worked, and he was defeated as Rob Van Dam was able to get a pinfall and a 95% match rating. Then, the match of the night, and of course, the winners of $60,000 each.
60 G's, baby!
Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt, a 100% match eval, and I must say, very impressed with Bray Wyatt. He's been coming on lately. You can tell he's putting in the work in the gym. After that, we followed up 99% CM Punk versus Charles Young. This was a back and forth affair, a lot of knees being used in this match, but in the end, CM Punk is able to squeak out the victory. Then we had Yuki Himuro's tag team championship partner, Katsuyori Asakawa, taking on Brian Cage. This is a contenders match. The winner of this was going to get, or is going to get, the shot at the heavyweight championship on the next card. And it was Brian Cage. And I got to tell you, Brian Cage, ever since that trip to Japan where he went in for some training and he was gone for 3 months, he is an effing machine, and he looked really good in this one. And not that Katsuyori didn't. Katsuyori got a lot of offense in this, but the absorption abilities of Brian, the increased stamina, and then just his power moves were just too much for Asakawa. And moved on to the co-main event of the night for the DCW Junior Heavyweight title. Ricky Starks, 1-0 coming into this bout, taking on Matt Jackson. And really, if you had to pick a champion, no offense to Ricky, he's only had one match in Dream. Matt Jackson would probably deserve it a little bit more just because of the time that he's put into Dream Championship Wrestling. No offense, Ricky. But Matt Jackson is able to win, 98% match eval. Both guys did a great job in this. The fans loved it. So congratulations to Matt Jackson. And then we ended the night with an absolute bloodbath. Claudio Castagnoli. I mentioned Brian Cage in the title shot. That is if Claudio is going to be able to compete on card number 20, because he was busted ear to ear, bleeding all over the place. Both men absolutely exhausted. We really got close to that 20-minute time limit, But Claudio able to pull it out with an 86% match eval. Congratulations, new Dream Heavyweight Champion, Claudio Castagnoli. So, as I mentioned, next episode is number 20. We hope to have Brian Cage versus Claudio Castagnoli as the main event. But with it being 20 and being a round number, I think we've got to do something a little special. So, we're going to have a hell of a card for you guys. We're going to have some surprises. You know, we like to do that here with Dream Championship Wrestling. So, and I don't know if I'm going to post anything or if we're just going, I might post some teasers out there on social media. So be sure to follow us, Dream Championship Wrestling, on Instagram and Twitter. Let's go ahead and end this event. Claudio, again, congrats. Matt Jackson, congrats. So it was still a successful event, not a great success, but a success nonetheless. 95% match eval, though. That is big. But I'm concerned with financials. Some news and notes from the wrestling world. MWA Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. The MWA, the Major Leagues of Mexican Professional Wrestling. And we almost made $500,000, so we'll take it. Income $1.1 million, expenses, I can't talk. Expenses $600K. We walked away with just shy of $500,000. So total assets, as we are grinding our way through year 2, we're up to $6.1 million. At the end of this year, I really expect us to be a solid contender to go up against SWA. I mean, year 3 might be the year of Dream Championship Wrestling. We have a tournament scheduled with SWA, and that is all. So as we get the next month started here, I want to thank you guys for tuning in as always. You guys are wonderful. I hope we are putting on good cards for you guys and you enjoy the show. Again, it's all about entertainment. Just kind of giving us 20 or 30 minutes of your day. You can forget about the trials and tribulations of life and enjoy a good show, and I hope that's what we're doing. As we're heading out here, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. And if you don't want to subscribe, well, I'm going to tell you something right now. At least like the video. We'd appreciate that just as much. So star wrestler Big E joined Ace. Oh, Mr. Question. We found Sin, and I think that might be Sin Cara. And Shin Bateau wasn't able to find anyone worth signing. Wait a minute, shall we host our company party? It's a chance to improve relations with other promotions. I love when I find these things in Fire Promoter that I didn't even know existed. I've never even seen this in any other channel's videos. Well, 10,000, that's a drop in the bucket to Dream Championship Wrestling. All right, sounds good. Okay, well, before we jump over and see if this is Sin Cara and see if it's somebody that we want to sign, we're going to go ahead and head out. We'll show you that next time, so tune in to episode number 20 next Sunday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time.